The eternal story of Lord Krishna, the divine flute of the universe. In the sacred flow of time, when the earth groaned under the weight of tyranny and injustice, the divine chose to descend among mortals, not as a distant ruler of the heavens, but as a child who would laugh, play, love, teach, and transform the world. Thus was born Lord Krishna, the eighth incarnation of Lord Vishnu, whose life became a tapestry of divine play, Lila, love, wisdom, and righteousness. The divine birth in darkness. The story begins in the prison of Mathura, where the cruel King Kansa ruled with fear and bloodshed. A celestial prophecy had foretold his doom. The eighth child of his sister Devaki would be the cause of his death. Terrified, Kansa imprisoned Devaki and her husband Vasudeva, mercilessly killing their children one by one. On a stormy midnight, when the stars shimmered in divine anticipation and the guards lay asleep under a mystical slumber, Krishna was born. The prison walls glowed with divine light, and the shackles of Vasudeva fell away. Guided by a divine voice, Vasudeva placed the infant in a basket and crossed the raging river Yamuna, whose waters miraculously parted to allow safe passage. In the humble village of Gokul, Vasudeva exchanged Krishna with the newborn daughter of Yashoda and Nanda. When Kansa tried to kill the infant girl, she slipped from his grasp, transforming into the goddess Yogamaya, warning him that his destroyer was already safe. Thus the divine grew not in a palace, but among cows, fields, and laughter. The mischievous child of Gokul. Krishna's childhood in Gokul and Vrindavan is filled with joy, wonder, and miracles. Known as Makan Chor, the butter thief, Krishna stole curd and butter from the homes of the gopis, not out of hunger, but out of love and playfulness. Even when caught, his innocent smile dissolved all anger. Yet beneath this playful exterior lived boundless divine power. As a child, Krishna killed demon after demon sent by Kansa, Putana, Trinavarta, Bakasura, and Kaliya, the poisonous serpent who polluted the Yamuna. Dancing upon Kaliya's many heads, Krishna subdued him, restoring purity to the river. When the arrogant god Indra sent torrential rains to punish the villagers for worshipping Govardhan hill instead of him, Krishna calmly lifted the Govardhan mountain on his little finger, sheltering the entire village beneath it for 7 days. Humbled, Indra bowed before the child god, realizing that true divinity lay in humility and compassion. The enchanting flute of Vrindavan. As Krishna grew into youth, his beauty became legendary. Skin the color of monsoon clouds, eyes like lotus petals, crowned with a peacock feather. When he played his flute, the universe itself seemed to pause. Rivers slowed, cows stood still, birds fell silent, and hearts melted. The gopis of Vrindavan, drawn by divine love, gathered around him, but among them shone Radha, the embodiment of pure devotion. Their love was not bound by desire or possession. It symbolized the soul's longing for the divine. The Rasa Lila, the celestial dance under the moonlight, was not merely a dance of bodies, but of souls, where Krishna multiplied himself to be present with each devotee. It taught the world that God is infinite and intimately present with all who surrender in love. The slayer of Kansa and king of Dwaraka. The time came for Krishna to fulfill his destiny. He returned to Mathura, confronted Kamsa in his own arena, and ended his reign of terror. Yet Krishna did not seek the throne for himself. Instead, he freed his parents and restored justice. To protect his people from constant invasions, Krishna founded the magnificent city of Dwaraka, rising from the sea like a golden dream. There, he ruled as a wise and compassionate king. He married Rukmini, the princess who surrendered her heart to him, and rescued many other women imprisoned by tyrants, restoring their dignity. Though a king, Krishna remained detached, acting in the world without being bound by it. The divine guide of Kurukshetra. Krishna's greatest gift to humanity came not through warfare, but through wisdom. When the Mahabharata war erupted between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, Krishna chose not to wield weapons. Instead, he became the charioteer of Arjuna. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna collapsed in despair, unable to fight his own kin. At that moment, Krishna revealed the eternal truths of existence in the Bhagavad Gita, a sacred dialogue that transcends time. He taught karma yoga, a selfless action, bhakti yoga, devotion, and jnana yoga, knowledge. He revealed his Vishvarupa, the cosmic form containing all creation and destruction within himself. Perform your duty without attachment to the results, Krishna declared, illuminating the path to liberation. The departure and eternal presence. After the Great War, the Yadava clan eventually fell to internal strife, fulfilling divine design. In a quiet forest, Krishna sat in meditation. A hunter named Jara, mistaking his foot for a deer, released an arrow that struck him. As Krishna smiled and forgave the hunter, he left his mortal body and returned to his divine abode. His departure marked the end of an age, but not the end of his presence. For Krishna does not leave. He lives in the sound of the flute, in the verses of the Gita, in acts of love and righteousness, and in the hearts of devotees who remember him. The eternal message of Krishna. Krishna's life teaches that God can be playful yet profound, loving yet fierce, human yet infinite. His Lila reminds us that life is a divine drama. His love shows the path of devotion. His wisdom lights the way through confusion. His actions restore balance in a troubled world. And whenever darkness rises again, his promise echoes through time. Whenever Dharma declines and Adharma rises, I shall return. Thus, the story of Lord Krishna is not just history, it is eternal. The birth of Dwaraka, the golden city of Lord Krishna. When the echoes of battle still lingered in the plains of Mathura, and the shadow of tyranny had finally lifted with the fall of King Kansa, the world believed peace had returned. Yet destiny, guided by divine foresight, had already begun shaping a greater plan. For Lord Krishna, knower of past, present, and future, saw what others could not, the storms yet to come, the need for a new kingdom. Though Kansa lay defeated, Mathura was not safe. Jarasandha, the mighty king of Magadha and Kansa's father-in-law, burned with vengeance. Time and again he attacked Mathura, bringing endless war to its gates. Krishna knew that the Yadava clan, though brave, could not live forever under siege. With calm certainty, Krishna spoke to his people. A king's true strength is not endless war, but the protection of his people. He decided not to fight for pride, but to withdraw for preservation, an act that earned him the name Ranchhod, one who leaves the battlefield. Yet this was no retreat of fear. It was a strategic act of divine wisdom. The divine vision of the sea. Krishna turned his gaze westward, toward the endless Arabian Sea, where waves kissed the horizon and the sun melted into water each evening. There, upon the shore of Kushasthali, he envisioned a city unlike any the world had seen. A city that would rise from the ocean itself, untouched by earthly enemies. Standing on the sands, Krishna closed his eyes in meditation. The sea grew still. Winds bowed, the sky shimmered. From the depths emerged Varuna, the god of oceans, adorned with jewels of coral and pearl. "O Lord of the universe," Varuna said, "command me." Krishna smiled gently. "Grant me land where my people may live in peace." Land rises from the ocean. At Krishna's divine will, the ocean receded. The waters parted and sank, revealing vast stretches of golden land, as if the sea itself had offered its heart to the Lord. Celestial architects descended from the heavens, led by Vishwakarma, the divine builder of the gods. Under Krishna's guidance, Vishwakarma worked not with stone alone, but with divine energy. In a single night, a city arose, the golden city of Dwaraka. Dwaraka gleamed like a jewel upon the western coast. Its palaces were built of gold, their walls inlaid with precious gems that reflected the sunlight like 1,000 suns. Streets were wide and symmetrical, lined with gardens that bloomed eternally. Lakes shimmered with lotus flowers, and fountains sang softly in the breeze. Towering gates, dwaras, stood at every entrance, giving the city its name, Dwaraka, the city of many gates. The city was protected by mighty walls and divine defenses. No enemy could breach it without Krishna's will. At its heart stood Krishna's palace, modest in spirit, yet magnificent in form, reminding all that power must be guided by humility. The arrival of the Yadavas. When the Yadavas arrived, crossing deserts and forests to reach the new city, they stood in awe. Fear fell away from their hearts. For the first time in generations, they lived without the sound of war drums. Krishna welcomed them not as subjects, but as family. Children played freely in the streets. Cows grazed peacefully. Scholars, warriors, artists, and traders all found their place. Dwaraka became not only a fortress, but a living embodiment of Dharma, where justice ruled, compassion guided leadership, and devotion filled daily life. A city blessed by the divine. Gods themselves visited Dwaraka. Sages meditated in its gardens. The sea remained calm around its shores, as if standing guard. Even enemies who gazed upon the city felt their anger soften. Yet Krishna reminded all, this city is eternal only as long as Dharma lives within your hearts. The city that returned to the sea. After Krishna completed his earthly mission and departed from the mortal world, the divine protection around Dwaraka slowly lifted. The ocean, which had once retreated in reverence, now advanced in silence. Wave by wave, the city descended back into the sea, not in destruction, but in return. Palaces vanished beneath the waters, preserving their glory in the depths, as if waiting for another age. The eternal symbol of Dwaraka. Thus, Dwaraka became more than a city. It became a promise. A reminder that true civilization rises from righteousness, that divine leadership builds peace, and that nothing, no matter how glorious, outlasts time unless anchored in Dharma. Even today, when the tides whisper against the shores of Gujarat, devotees believe the sea still guards the golden city beneath, silent, sacred, and eternal. Vrindavan, the eternal playground of divine love. Long before golden palaces rose from the sea as Dwaraka, before conch shells echoed across battlefields, there existed a sacred land where time itself seemed to pause. This was Vrindavan, not merely a place on earth, but the heart of Lord Krishna, where the divine chose to reveal himself not as a king or a warrior, but as pure love. The forest that awaited the divine. Vrindavan lay on the banks of the gentle Yamuna, wrapped in forests of Kadamba and Tamal trees. Peacocks danced freely, cows grazed without fear, and the air carried the fragrance of blossoms and devotion. The sages say that this land was blessed long before Krishna's birth, for Vrinda, the sacred Tulasi plant, performed deep penance here, earning the boon that the Supreme Lord would eternally reside in this forest. Thus, the land came to be known as Vrindavan, the forest of Vrinda. Krishna's arrival in Gokul. When infant Krishna was brought across the Yamuna to escape Kansa's wrath, destiny carried him straight into Vrindavan's loving arms. Here, he was raised by Yashoda and Nanda, not as a god, but as their beloved child. The village echoed with laughter as Krishna crawled through courtyards, bells tied to his ankles. Butter pots mysteriously emptied, and children followed him like shadows. When Yashoda once scolded him and asked where the stolen butter had gone, Krishna opened his mouth, and within it, she saw the entire universe. Yet even then, love conquered awe. Yashoda closed his mouth and held him close, choosing motherhood over divinity. The miracles of a child god. Though Vrindavan appeared peaceful, danger often crept into its forests. Demons sent by Kansa, Putana, Trinavarta, Bakasura, Agasura came disguised as storms, serpents, and monsters. Each time Krishna destroyed them effortlessly, restoring harmony. One of the most powerful moments came when Krishna subdued Kaliya, the venomous serpent poisoning the Yamuna. Dancing upon Kaliya's many heads, Krishna purified the river, teaching that divine grace can tame even the darkest poison. Govardhan, shelter of devotion. When the villagers prepared to worship Indra, the proud god of rain, Krishna gently questioned blind tradition. He taught them to honor nature and duty instead. Enraged, Indra unleashed devastating rains upon Vrindavan. Calm as the sky before dawn, Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill on his little finger, holding it aloft like an umbrella. For 7 days, the people and animals sheltered beneath it, safe and unafraid. Humbled, Indra bowed before Krishna, realizing that true power protects, not punishes. The flute that stilled the world. As Krishna grew into youth, Vrindavan transformed into a realm of divine enchantment. His flute became the soul of the land. At its call, the Yamuna paused mid-flow, deer froze in wonder, and the hearts of the gopis raced with longing. Among them shone Radha, whose love for Krishna was beyond form, beyond logic, beyond time. Their bond was not bound by social rules or desire. It symbolized the union of the individual soul with the Supreme. The Rasa Lila, dance of the cosmos. On moonlit nights, Krishna called the gopis into the forest, where the Rasa Lila unfolded. Each gopi believed Krishna danced only with her, yet he was present with all, revealing his infinite nature. This was no ordinary dance. It was the cosmic rhythm of creation, where love erased ego and surrender led to bliss. Vrindavan became heaven on earth, glowing with divine joy. Separation and eternal presence. When Krishna eventually left Vrindavan to fulfill his destiny in Mathura and beyond, the land fell silent. The flute's song faded, but love did not. For in Vrindavan, Krishna never truly leaves. The trees still bend as if listening. The Yamuna still whispers his name. The dust of Vrindavan is said to carry his footprints, and every breeze feels like his passing smile. Vrindavan beyond time. Saints and devotees say Vrindavan exists in 2 forms, one seen by the eyes and one felt by the heart. To walk its paths with devotion is to step into eternity, where Krishna is forever a playful cowherd, Radha forever waits with love, and every soul is invited into the divine dance. Vrindavan teaches the world that God can be loved, not feared. That devotion is sweeter than power, and that the highest truth is not found in palaces or scriptures alone, but in pure, selfless love. Vrindavan, the land of Krishna's childhood. Where it is. Vrindavan is a holy town in Uttar Pradesh, India, near Mathura, about 150 kilometers south of Delhi and close to the sacred Yamuna River where Krishna spent his childhood. How to reach Vrindavan? By air. Nearest airport is Agra Airport, 75 kilometers, or Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi, 150 kilometers. From there, you can take a taxi or train bus to Mathura or Vrindavan. By train, Mathura Junction is the closest major rail station, 10 to 12 kilometers from Vrindavan. Many trains from Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and other cities stop here. By road, Vrindavan is well connected by highways. The Yamuna Expressway links it to Delhi, 3 to 4 hours drive, and to Agra, 1.5 hours. Regular buses and private cabs are available. Local travel, auto rickshaws, e-rickshaws, and cycle rickshaws are the best ways to explore the narrow lanes and temple areas. Best time to visit. Vrindavan, October to March. Cool, pleasant weather ideal for temple visits, sightseeing, and spiritual walks. March, Holi, and August, Janmashtami. Very vibrant festival times, but expect huge crowds. Avoid peak summer, April-June. Very hot, above 40 degrees Celsius, and can be uncomfortable for long temple tours. Monsoon, July-September. Green and atmospheric, but occasional rains can disrupt plans. Dwarka, the ancient kingdom on the sea. Where it is. Dwarka is a sacred coastal city in the Devbhoomi Dwarka district of Gujarat, India, located on the western shore of the Arabian Sea. It was the ancient kingdom of Lord Krishna, and today is one of the Char Dham pilgrimage sites. How to reach Dwarka? By air. Nearest airport is Rajkot Airport, 125 km. Alternatively, you can fly into Ahmedabad or Surat and take a long-distance train, bus, or cab. By train, Dwarka railway station connects to major cities like Ahmedabad, Rajkot, and Mumbai. By road, well connected by highways, buses and private taxis operate from cities across Gujarat and neighboring states. Once you arrive, the Dwarkadish temple and other sites can be reached on foot, by rickshaw or local taxis. Best time to visit Dwarka. October to February. Winter months bring pleasant weather, cool days and evenings, ideal for temple darshan and exploring. Monsoon, June-September. Lush and calm, but occasionally wet and humid. Summer, April-May. Hot and not ideal for long outdoor excursions. Travel tip. Both Dwarka and Vrindavan get very crowded during festivals like Janmashtami, Holi and Diwali. Plan accommodations and temple darshans ahead of time if visiting then. Here are simple, practical sample itineraries for Vrindavan and Dwarka, designed for pilgrims and spiritual travelers. Vrindavan itineraries. Krishna's childhood and divine love. Day 1. Quick pilgrimage morning. Banke Bihari Temple. Early darshan. Very important to go early. Radha Raman Temple. One of the most sacred Radha Krishna temples, Seva Kunj and Nidivan. Sacred groves linked to Rasa Lila. Afternoon lunch at a local Satvik, Bhojanalaya SK Khan, Vrindavan. Krishna Balaram Mandir. Peaceful chanting and darshan evening, Keshigat, Yamuna Aarti. Sunset Aarti. By the river light walk through Vrindavan lanes. Best for short spiritual visit, first-time travelers. Day 2. Relaxed and deep. Braj region Prem Mandir. Early morning or evening lights. Nandgaon, Krishna's childhood home. Barsana, Radha Rani temple optional. Govardhan Parikrama, short or full. Best for devotees, slow travel, spiritual immersion. Dwarka itineraries. Krishna's kingdom and divine wisdom. Day 1. Essential darshan. Morning Dwarkadish temple, Mangla Aarti. Most important experience Gomti Ghat, holy bath and rituals. Sudama Setu, sacred bridge walk. Afternoon lunch and rest. Rukmini Devi temple. Evening sunset at Dwarka beach. Evening Aarti at Dwarkadish temple. Best for tight schedule, main highlights. Day 2, complete experience, sacred surroundings. Best Dwarka, boat ride plus temple visit. Nageshwar Jyotirlinga, one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. Gopi Talav, sacred soil of Krishna's Lilas. Return by evening. Best for pilgrims, mythology lovers, relaxed travel. Helpful travel tips. Visit temples early morning to avoid crowds. Wear modest, comfortable clothing. Festivals are beautiful but very crowded, so book hotels early. Keep cash for small temples and rickshaws. For more videos about Hindu god and goddesses, please like and subscribe this channel.